Construction.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the Hardy Construction. You can find us at hardyconstruction.tumblr.com, youtube.com/hardyconstruction, and facebook.com/thehardyconstruction. I know we got a lot of followers on YouTube and the Tumblr, so why not join us on Facebook so we look cool with your hosts, Alex and
House Punk.
So today's film is a request film because it's requested by Danny's buddy. What's the film and who requested it?
It's called Love Object, and it's requested by a girl named Kylie.
So I told Danny I wouldn't say bad things, but I remember, I believe it was Kylie when I was on the Facebook page.
You're ridiculous.
And I said something, because I hold grudges because I'm a sociopath. So Kylie, this goes out to you. So I remember writing something. She wrote something on our wall that said something about Red State. And I said, yeah, Red State's not a typical horror film, and she gave me like a really the answer, and she was like, yeah, of course it's not.
Jesus.
And I was like, go you. No, I was kidding. Alright, so Love Object. Let's talk.
Sensitive.
I'm not sensitive, I have no feelings. So let's talk about Love Object, 2003, Kylie, since Dan is your buddy. Directed by Robert Parigi, starring Desmond Harrison, better known as... Who the fuck is he on Dexter?
Quinn,
right. The character that's...
and he's also
either
in the
important or not
Avengers
important.
movie.
Huh?
No, not Avengers. Batman.
Yeah, he was. I was very surprised to see him pop up. I was very surprised. There was a lot of people in Dark Knight Returns that I was surprised that showed up.
I was surprised when...
Alright, you go review the movie. Go ahead.
Okay, so it's a pretty good movie. Yeah. Uh-huh. How are you doing? I'm gonna sing a song about Love Object.
This is your friend's movie, so you might as well talk about it. Go ahead.
What do you want me to say? It's a...
Review the movie.
It's a movie... It's basically anybody who's scared of Mannequin's worst movie to watch. It's about a guy who is kind of like a weirdo and doesn't know how to talk to people, and he gets this $10,000. Is it like $10,000 not blow up doll, like a latex doll with human hair and all this shit, named Nikki, and kind of falls in love with it.
Christ almighty. Now I know why I'm important to the show. Anyway, so the film stars Desmond Harrington. He's he's playing Kenneth Winslow, and he's
Carl Winslow's white brother.
He's a little bit of an autistic fella, right? He's got a little bit of a weirdo.
He's just quiet.
He's a really different version than how he plays Quinn, because like when I was watching the film, I was expecting him to be this kind of a snarky smartass, like he is on Dexter. Because you know when you see an actor in only one role, that's how you figure them to be. He's
misunderstood.
He actually raised in the Bronx, so good for him. But he's very weird in this film, and it's funny because he's like a handsome, movie star fellow looking guy, and he's just a complete weirdo. They don't really go back into his background, but he writes or he does copywriting for
manuals,
basically the blank for dummies, like whatever you write for dummies. Those kind of series of books like Math for Dummies.
It's like instruction manuals.
Yeah, like for dummies. Remember the Law for Dummies or...
Oh, okay.
Or Date Rape for Dummies, stuff like that.
Right.
And he's at his job. He does his job well. He goes early to work.
Rip Torn is his boss.
Yeah, he's like, he goes there and then he goes like to Men in
Black. When he's not fingering Freddy or
helping Will Smith
dodgeball, he's
what was the other one?
Dodgeball.
Okay, so he's at this very whip. He has this whip crack kind of crack whip. Was it whip crack whip kind of boss?
What are you talking about?
A whip cracking boss played by Rip Torn. His name is Novak. So he's basically promising a bonus to Kenneth if he gets these manuals done. And for that, they hired an assistant, a temp named Lisa, she's quite fetching, I might say.
She is quite fetching. She looks a lot like someone, but I don't know who.
Yeah, she's related. Apparently, I guess she's played by Melissa Sage Miller. She's related to Kyler Lee or something like that. This actress. Have you ever seen I might be completely wrong, but somebody said that on IMDb, so I'm sure it's 100% true. Anyway, but she's hot. She's really pretty, and
Yeah.
she's just pretty. Like, I know you like Levin in the Cube episode, but I like this girl a lot. She's really cute.
Yeah, I like this
Um,
girl too, more than Levin too.
oh, okay. So let's say what
I'm most attracted to Nikki actually.
Kenneth is, yeah, she's pretty hot. Kenneth's landlord, or is it the landlord or the super? Or what is he? The owner of the building?
He's like the manager of the building.
He's played by
like a smoking German guy.
He's played by Udo Kier, who's like the most famously known gay German actor, but I guess he's like a womanizer in this movie. If anybody knows who Udo Kier is, he was like one of the heads of the vampires in Blade. He's you'll if you saw him, you know him. He's like this very bug-eyed German-faced guy.
I like the way he looks.
German-faced guy. Yeah, he's cool. I like him, but it's just that he's so he's so effeminate, and then you just have him playing this womanizer, like he's bringing big-titted brunettes into the apartment. What was up with that? This guy, I actually like the film.
Yeah, it's kind of like vaguely a comedy, especially in the beginning. But
yeah, this is the thing. This film you could see this film being made as a comedy, which they did with like what was that movie?
Mannequin.
What?
Mannequin.
Okay. Well, no, this is well, I guess so, right? Did
Yeah.
Did they ever show him fuck that mannequin? I'm sure he did, right?
Well, they show
What was his name?
like
Andrew
of his head as he's jerking off.
Andrew, what's his name? Andrew Miller, Andrew McCarthy. Like
Yeah, he's also in Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah. Oh, you think he might have fucked up and fucked Bernie too while thought he was the man?
Yeah, well, I mean, the guy's fucking dead. Who cares? Especially in the second one when he just dances and stuff. That feels really good.
They really ran out of shit with that. They
I like that
With the
movie.
two Jamaican
I mean,
guys?
it's obviously bad, but
anyway.
the second one.
I remember they were trying to write a follow up to the Weekend at Bernie's, but they never did it. And I was like, I think I
And
don't.
the bad guy.
I was so dumb.
in
I actually thought they had an actual dead guy in the film. Like I couldn't believe it. But I was young, so I didn't know.
Return of the Living Dead. That guy is also in Weekend at Bernie's.
I remember Beavis and Butthead. They had an episode. They had Weekend at Bernie's 4, and it was just like a rotting corpse in between two guys. It was like one of the funniest shits I ever saw.
I reference that movie all the time. Like
Weekend at Bernie's.
they had like a Michael Jackson reunion or something, and they bring him up like Weekend at Bernie's style.
And they do the thing, where that one guy will stand and he has sticks on his arms, and the sticks are holding up 4 other puppets, so it looks like there's 5 guys dancing.
Right.
And they'll just do that with Michael Jackson and whoever else died.
Right. We could get the Beatles when Paul McCartney finally dies. Let's get
Can you
him.
imagine? Then you see like John's hollow head and like
Yeah, like it's like a fucking skeleton with like a bird living inside of it.
all that's left of George Harrison's like green feet and shit like that. Jesus.
Right,
Christ.
and cancer.
So anyway, yeah, that was the joke. So Kenneth is this weirdo, and I guess he instantly takes a liking to this. They put a photo on his coworkers put this photo on his desk, and it says "From Love from Nikki" or some shit like that. And clearly, it's the worst dummy I've ever seen in a film of all time. Like I guess I don't know.
Joke.
Huh?
It's supposed to be funny, you know.
No, because the guy Kenneth actually believes that that's a woman in a photo, and the guy's like, "Oh, you can't believe you fell for it, man!" Like that kind of stuff.
Right.
And it's one of the worst looking dummies I've ever seen in a film. I know this must have been at the beginning craze of the real dolls, because this is basically where they had the idea from. Real dolls are these super expensive sex dolls. I guess around this time.
I would totally get one of those.
No, there's just something about them. It's just really disgusting looking. They just have this weird. They just have a face like it's dead. I mean.
Yeah, they're fucking not real.
I get it, right? I understand, but
Anyone that's fucking a doll like that is gotta be a little weird.
But I gotta wonder, like, if they have the technology, how they have wax statues that can generally look like a celebrity.
Yeah.
Like, and if you look at the real dolls, like, if you looked at it back then, like, even now, I don't know how they look now, but if you look, like, they would always put it on HBO or on real sex shows.
And sex bites and all that
right,
stuff.
and they'll show their face, and they look like goddamn monsters, but I'm sure wax museums knew how to make a face. Like, what was the problem? They can't hire a prostitute and mold.
They should have gone, like, alginate cast of all their of, like, some whore's face, like a porn star or something.
But the thing is, I guess maybe it wasn't in the budget to get an actual good-looking dummy, because the dummy in here, she looks like a fucking, like, she should pop out of a wall if your boat passes by in a horror,
But that's the funny part of the movie.
It's not funny. It's just doesn't make any sense. Like, if I paid $10,000, just have a real Russian hooker float over to your house, man. What the fuck's wrong with this guy?
I don't know.
And they actually went with him having a sex scene with him. I was watching the scene through my hands. I was so embarrassed for the actor. They had to fuck this dummy, and she looked so bad. And the only thing it reminded me of my Asian girlfriend when I had sex with her. But anyway, and yeah, they had the climax and everything. And do you think like he jizzed inside it, didn't show him clean it out or anything, and he just throws the dummy over the bed?
Well, I was thinking it's like some of those vacuums that have a compartment that collects it, and then you just open it up and dump it out.
And he like instantly regrets it, so he tries to return it, but they're like, no, because you fucking shot a load inside this robot or whatever the fuck this dummy was. And he fashioned it mostly based on Lisa's face and her features.
Yeah, once he met her, he starts like studying her and learning what kind of clothes she wears. I did notice a glitch in the movie, a bad writing glitch that pissed me off.
What was it?
It's later on when she sees the original picture of Nikki, and she's like, "Oh, so you based it on me and my clothes and blah blah blah." But like, he hadn't done that until after ordering the thing. So the original picture wasn't based on her. He altered it to look like her.
What are you talking about?
When
no, I know he bought her the dress. I know exactly the scene you're talking about. He buys a dress when they go to work. Oh no, he doesn't buy a dress. He tells her what dress to buy at the thing.
No, but he tells her to look like the original picture of Nick?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought he was...
What are you, a fucking moron?
No, but he was making Nikki look like her. Not the other way around.
Right. I guess... No, because remember she bought all her clothing from thrift stores, and he bought a nice dress for her, and then when he actually started dating her and she had the money to buy real clothes, he told her to buy the same dress that he bought for Nikki, so it's kind of reversal.
What can I say? I'm fucking stupid.
And I don't know, it's a very bizarre film. Like, what did you think of the... I mean, it's cheaply shot, but I mean, this is 2003, so I guess he kind of got to be... This is the only movie the guy directed, too. I guess that's it for him. But,
you should have gone on. I mean...
I know, it wasn't so bad, but I mean, he probably was like, it probably didn't make any money, and you get blackballed in Hollywood for shit like that if you don't make enough money. Unless you're Victor Salva and you get to fuck little kids and get away with it. And...
Yeah.
But, anyway, got real serious there. Anyway, he probably is gonna direct the film of fucking who's this guy, Jerry Sandusky.
He did act a little bit.
That's true. He produces a lot now. I guess his latest production credit is in 2011, so I guess he's not doing so badly. But what did you think of Desmond Harrington's acting in the film as Kenneth? I think he was pretty good. He
was pretty good too.
He's completely different from what's his face from Quinn. In Dexter. And all that bullshit.
He almost is kind of like a Dexter in this.
It is, yeah. It's almost even up to the same ending kind of thing. It's like, oh wait, I can't say anything. You haven't seen the latest episode, huh? But anyway, so yeah, don't look at my art that I did. But he's pretty convincing as this kind of a shy weirdo, and eventually he gets closer and closer with Nikki because her work is so good. He's teaching her, he's getting closer to her, but Novak is every 3 seconds like, I don't want you to do this, I don't want you to do that with her because we can get sued.
No, you're talking Lisa, not Nikki.
Lisa, sorry, yeah. So he's working closer to Lisa, and he starts talking to Nikki, and he has these, one-sided conversations with Nikki the dummy, who's like the worst.
He hears her. It's very much like Schizophrenic, the Whoremangler.
Yeah, right. And... Jesus Christ.
That's a great movie.
That's a great movie. And he
I still think about that movie and laugh.
And so anyway, he's having these one-sided conversations. I really thought they would have put the voiceover of like the doll, because when he goes to the website for the dolls that they were gonna, they have this woman speaking like, how would you want me to look? How do you want me to blah blah blah? And I thought they were gonna do that, but thankfully I guess it works that they didn't put the voice, so it makes him look even wackier. So I assume he's doing all this shit while he's passed out, because they try to play it as if almost like a Chucky thing where the doll's alive doing stuff.
Yeah, and
it was a really horrible chase.
Vaguely hoping they'd go that way.
I thought so too. In the trailer, I thought it was gonna, because he keeps getting phone calls. Like you see his phone actually ring, and you don't know whether he's hearing that shit or not, and nobody's answering.
But this takes place in like 2003. I've never seen a phone ring like that in 2003.
It sounded really low. What are you talking about? Phones have been ringing since fucking.
No, but like how many? Asshole. I don't know. I guess in offices or something. But like, usually phones are not looking like that now anymore. They look like an old-fashioned phone.
It was 2003, right? So maybe that's how they looked in 2003.
I don't think so.
It's what shut up. And
fuck you.
And well, I thought for some reason I thought the way it was gonna go is that I thought he was gonna dress up in the bodysuit of the girl, of the dummy, and attack people at the end for some strange reason. That would have been all right too, but I guess this is what they went with is better.
It's very dramatic. The movie's very dramatic, but in a kind of funny way.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried when the film first started out because they have that wacky, shitty music that they put on. Like you could tell they gave a guy with a synth to do the soundtrack.
Right.
And he put music to everything, and it was like the corniest goofball music. And I don't know whether they did it on purpose to make it seem like a comedy.
I think they did it on purpose. It's supposed to be like this.
But
like,
it's just that Kenneth is such a fucking weirdo in the opening of the film. It's not funny. It's just like this guy's disturbing. Like he's a strange guy.
I think what did he do like right in the beginning? That was so weird.
He had spaced out look. He wasn't doing anything like in another film. If it was comedy, he would like tripped on his foot on his fucking front lawn or something stupid. Even the opening reminds me of Dexter too. Like him getting ready for work. It just reminds me of Dexter. Like you know how Dexter every episode they couldn't even. It's just that asshole eating his breakfast. It's kind of like the same fucking opening and everything.
I love that opening.
So me too. When he bangs,
it's annoying after a while though because you get to see it like over and over and over.
And he kills a mosquito. It's like, oh wow, I didn't expect that to happen.
The Dexter song as her ringtone.
So he finally sleeps with Lisa, but he's having flashes of the doll Nikki
strangling him.
Do you think it was hard for him because the vagina wasn't dry and cold? He was used to it. He said, "Why is it not making suctiony fart sounds when I'm having sex with you?"
No, you just gotta get them in a different position.
Have you ever lost a boner with a girl while having sex with her?
I mean, sometimes it just happens. You're not like in the mood or something,
too. So it happens.
That's the difference between guys and girls. If a guy is not in the mood, it's like a humiliating thing. If a girl's not, you just kind of spit on your dick a little and you're fine.
That's all you need. Oh, boy. We revealed a little bit too much in this episode. But, what'd you think of the film? What were the positives and the negatives of the film?
The negatives.
This is bringing us closer to our lesbian listeners.
It drags a little bit,
What happened?
I wish it would get a little more dramatic, and then the ending happens so fast, like the complete breakdown.
It almost ends like a TV series. Like if the main character was a bad guy, and it's chronicling his life. I almost don't want to give this away because I actually think people should check this out.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have to assume anyone.
Well, yeah. So we're gonna spoil the film, so you might as well stop it right now. But what did you think about that crazy ending where I did like how they foreshadowed him putting that card inside one of the instruction manuals, and she finds it out later because him and her Kenneth gets into an actual deep relationship with Lisa, and she finds the card and then sees that he's a fucking lunatic, that he's based everything on his dummy girlfriend.
On a sex doll, yeah.
A sex doll. Could you imagine? How would you explain yourself out of there? I'm such a good liar. I'd probably find.
I mean, I'd probably start crying or something.
I'd be like, no, they put a card. He's just lucky that he did that. She's just fucked. If he said that they put the card there, like the guys found out my ex-girlfriend's name was Nikki, and they put the card there. Something like that, but then she says, "Oh, she's dressed the same way." Then he's fucked, Then he's like,
"Well, it could be like it's a coincidence."
But since he's such a sputtering weirdo, he can't get it out.
Yeah.
You figured you think in the film he's building his confidence by dating her, and I like the part that when he's having sex with her and he finds out she has a tongue ring and she has a tattoo on her breast, which is stuff that it is. It was funny. One of the first girls I ever.
I did the tattoos on boobs usually, but that was a good one.
I thought it was. I don't think the art was that good, but what can I say?
But it just went nicely with the shape.
Have you ever had that happen where you found out something about a girl that you were with, into, and I don't know.
What? Am I erection shrunk into my body?
No, because you're. Never mind. Yeah. Let's say this girl that I had met the first time I hooked up with her. This was the first I didn't know anything about her, and then when she took off her top, she had these humongous breasts with pierced nipples, and I was like, "Oh, that's a nice surprise." So I was like, it was funny because it was the first girl I ever been with, and then she had pierced nipples. So now I'm comparing them to every breast that didn't have.
I used.
What am I talking about this episode? Why are we saying shit?
I don't know. I used to have pierced.
I'm giving my deepest.
The hole never closed up.
I'm giving my deepest secrets to the friend who suggested this, Katie, whatever her name was.
Kylie
Minogue.
Thank you, Kylie.
Did you know Jean-Claude Van Damme fucked Kylie Minogue on the set of Street Fighter?
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I saw that article 2 days ago. I bet what's his face, Raul Julia was probably dressed as fucking Gomez, jerking off to that. He was doing backflips and shit.
He goes, "You beheld the god." He did that, and he jerked off.
He's doing the mamushka as they're fucking each other.
Mamushka. Anyway,
mamushka. We come to the mamushka.
Oh, okay, right.
Seriously, I've got such a thing for the Addams Family. Like, if they really existed, I would love to be living with them.
And Wednesday was like my first crush as a kid. So
Me too.
Like, she was so cute. She's even hotter now when you watch the film. You're like, oh yeah, come here, 12-year-old girl. Anyway, so the film does suffer technically the way it looks because there's a lot of sequences that you can tell that they fucked up. Some of the shots you can tell are going to turn straight into special effects because there's a part where
there's a close up of Nikki's eye and it's like what?
I like
hell?
that actually.
I've ever seen.
I actually thought that was the better effect in the film because there's parts where the color grading completely changes into some weird digital miscolor of the film.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Part,
it's like all washed out and shit.
Yeah, and there's like parts when he'll have a fantasy of dancing with Lisa, and it's like all strangely colored. And I understand when it goes to the white room, that's a fantasy. But right before that will be a shot when you know it was going into a special effect because the whole color grading is completely. It's like they gave the guy 2 reels of film and they said don't fuck with this one, but fuck with this one, and they just fucked around with it and it messed up the whole film. Yeah. But so technically they did some weird shots. It suffers the low budget film thing where it's all like wide shots for most of the movie. Right. But I think the acting is decent enough that it saves the movie, and the story is paced well enough. I mean, it does feel a little long.
It's a pretty good movie actually.
It is a decent horror film, and it feels like more like a woman wrote this film. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean it's more sensitive towards seeing this guy, because I would go on the IMDb and there's, of course, you know how women are in love with fucking lunatics like the rapist kid from what the hell is that movie, American Horror Story, or in real life I have a friend that thinks Richard Ramirez is hot even though he like raped and strangled people. What the fuck's her problem?
There are a lot of people,
and there's girls that are like, oh, I would date this guy. It's like, of course you would, you fucking lunatic. Like,
remember that guy Patterson who killed his wife or whatever, and it was like in the news for years, like
James Patterson, the novel writer.
No,
the guy that looks like Ben Affleck, the one that killed his pregnant wife.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he looked like Ben Affleck. Oh, I'm sure women
that were like writing him love letters.
Oh, I'm sure they'd be mopping the floors off of those girls. Yeah, they fucking love those guys. If you're even a tortured soul of anything, like look at us, we're tortured souls. Nobody gives a shit.
We're tortured souls, but nobody is interested in me. I got like fucking 16-year-old girls interested in me. Like,
it's like we have the luck of having a lot of female listeners, and they don't want anything to do with guys. But we appreciate you guys anyway.
Yeah, that's why. Like, if any of these.
You think we do this for movies? We hate horror movies. No,
if they were remotely into guys, they would never listen to us because we're losers.
Then they'll listen to us and be like, wow, you guys are the worst. Anyway, but so technically it looks pretty terrible, the movie, but I mean it moves the story along. I mean some of the color grading and the shooting looks pretty wacky. Udo Kier, I wish he did a lot more. The German owner of the building or whoever he is. I would figure he'd have his own fucking floor. What does he got? Oh no, my super lives next to the dregs that are us, and the cop is kind of put in there to kind of be a deuce. This is the second time I'm using this. Deuce.
He's funny, actually. The cop. He's like the only comedic.
Like 2 scenes. What are you talking about?
What? The cop with the playing video games and shit.
God, with this gunshot sound effects, even though he wasn't playing it.
It's so stupid.
I guess so.
It's just like stupid humor, you know.
Yes, and I totally blanked on what you were talking about. But what did you think about the Deus Ex Machina ending with the cop shooting Lisa? Do you think Lisa should have just ran out the house, maybe?
I think it was exactly what I would have thought would happen, kind of.
Yeah, I didn't expect it, but once I realized she was going crazy to kill him, although who knows, if you're in rage, you'd probably want to kill somebody too. I got real squeamish when he put the pump or the drain into her artery. I hate fucking arteries in movies. It makes me ill.
Yeah.
And anyway, so that was pretty disturbing, and I think that the film is pretty good. She gets killed at the end, so everybody knows that. There you go. And he gets away with it, and
then he finds another
girl to get attracted to.
That I could have predicted too.
What'd you think of how horror?
I just don't like how quickly he becomes a total psycho. You know, because he's not a total psycho.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they were leading it up to that.
Like, I could even relate to him until about halfway through the film.
I really thought that the doll was gonna come alive and start stabbing people, or somebody was fucking with him and dresses up like the doll in the movie, or something in that kind of thing. I didn't expect him.
The vibe that everybody in work knew about it at points.
I didn't expect him to be the actual, like, the super villain at the end of the film itself. Since we're dealing with his character, it's not like American Psycho or Patrick Bateman's from the beginning of the film. This kind of lunatic where this guy is gradually slipping into it, but it's almost like a light switch.
For some reason, when you said Patrick Bateman, I instantly thought of Patrick Swayze.
Well, him too. He killed people too, didn't he? Didn't he like have a window fall on a guy, and then a bunch of dark ghosts took him into hell?
Yeah.
That's that happened. Anyway, so I like the movie. So Cooley suggested.
Would you recommend it? What would you rate it?
I'd like to thank Cooley for suggesting this movie. What would I give this movie? I'd give it a 6 out of 10. Awkward sex scenes where a guy has to come inside of a plastic dummy, just like I did with my ex-girlfriends.
All right, I'm gonna give this movie a 7 out of 10. Dramatically stabbing a dummy and then chopping it up and putting it in a bag as your gay German neighbor watches through a peephole.
How funny was Udo Kier's head in the bag when they opened it? It looked so bad. The special effect of the guy decapitated was.
I loved his character. I actually loved
I wish there was more of him doing it. I wonder if he puked when he had to grab that girl's big titty in the movie.
No, they could appreciate them. I'm sure I could appreciate.
I wish I had some myself. Oof.
Nice squishy cock.
Good lord. So yeah, what did you give it?
I gave it a 7.
Didn't pay attention. Yeah, so it's a decent film. So thanks to Kylie for suggesting it, and I'll forgive you for being an asshole to me.
You didn't do anything, Kylie. He's insane.
No, it happened. It's there in the thing. Okay, so with that, our next film is because you mentioned it before, Schizophreniac 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
I forgot what the hell it's called. I know it's called. I think it's called Necrophiliac Schizophreniac 2.
Oh,
Yay. Awesome. Who's awesome? I'm awesome.
That is
All
awesome.
Right, so with that, that's the hard deconstruction. Danny, what is the final word?
Shummy show.
The horror deconstruction.